Hey, what's good guys? This is FZM Studio. Welcome back, and let's get straight to business guys. In today's video, it's yet another epic showdown. I've got the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus in the building, going head to head against the beast, the Razer Phone Special Edition, in another ultimate speed test. Yeah guys, I heard you loud and clear on my last video in the comments. I highly respect the feedback I got on the Razer Phone, and I'm glad that you take my content and my work seriously. It clearly proves that not only am I doing my job correctly, which matters to me, but you're connecting with my content and myself personally, which is incredible. It truly makes me happy to have a community growing here on this channel, and this pushes me to make more greater content. So thank you to everyone for all your comments and feedback. So without further ado, let's get straight to business. Razer, you better be on your A game because they're on your tail, and so am I. So in today's video, let's find out how the Razer Phone performs in a speed test against the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. First things first, let's get a specification overview to warm up the proceedings. Starting with the S8 Plus, I have here the Exynos A895 chipset variant, which has an octa-core CPU. The GPU is the ARM's Mali G71, and this particular S8 Plus has a total capacity storage of 64GB with 4GB of RAM. For the Razer Phone, it's following 2017's flagship trend, as it has the Snapdragon 835 chipset with an octa-core CPU, internal memory of 64GB which is expandable, a massive 8GB of RAM, and has the Adreno 540 GPU, and it runs a very swift and clean Nova launcher for its UI. And one of its finest features is that it's the first smartphone ever with a 120Hz ultramotion quad HD display. The Special Edition is limited in quantity to a total of 1,337 units and gets the green triple-headed snake emblem, while the regular model gets a chrome styled emblem. No hardware changes, just a unique emblem. So, Team Samsung versus Team Razer. Whose team are you on? And which smartphone do you think is going to come out on top here? It's time to find out with the first test. Let's boot these phones up and find out who's fastest. Let's go. So the Razer Phone and Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus both have their power buttons on the right hand side, so let's see who powers up first. There's Samsung with its minimalistic opening animations. And for the Razer Phone, it's got some very slick and stylish animations for its opening visuals, which is definitely cool to watch. And we are in! On the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, any second for the Razer Phone, there, not bad at all. Considering it had some network blow on its startup, it was only a few seconds behind. Nice. Next up, let's fire up the apps. Let's go. Right, first app, Phone Dialer. Pretty fast times for the Razer Phone. Nice. Let's try the next app. Let's go to Settings. And again, a bit faster for the Razer Phone. Nice. Play Store. Again, the Razer Phone. Back to the home screen, let's move on to the next app, YouTube. Again, the Razer Phone. 4-0. Moving on. Let's go to Instagram. Home feed loading up faster once again for the Razer Phone, showing the lovely Honor V10, which I will be getting soon, hopefully. Moving on guys, let's go to Snapchat. Again, the Razer Phone. So let's launch Google Chrome. And Wikipedia was faster for the Razer Phone and slightly slower for Google on the Samsung. For the camera, we can see that the S8 Plus was faster, and no, we don't want Bixby Vision, go away. Back to the home screen. Moving on, let's go to the next app. Into the game launcher, and let's go to the first game is Mario Run. Let's see what we get. And loading, and we can see the Razer Phone beating the S8 Plus for the first game. Let's go to the next app, moving back into the game launcher, going into the next app, which is Angry Birds 2. Let's take a look. So we're on the loading screen, and let's see if the Samsung can redeem itself. So at the moment it appears to be quite equal. Razer Phone just slightly ahead, but no, the Samsung S8 Plus has got to the actual game faster. Pretty impressive. Okay, cool. So as I'm just quickly messing about to get the game moving, so we'll come back for that on the RAM management. Okay, so back to the home screen, let's continue with the apps. Going back into the game launcher, let's go into the next game, which is Temple Run 2. And let's see who comes out on top. So we've got the Razer Phone loading in quicker and taking the victory. Not bad. Good job by Razer. And the S8 Plus just a fraction or so behind. But clearly I can see that so far in the apps test, the Razer phone is outperforming the Samsung. So let's just get the game going and we'll come back to it for the RAM management. Next up, once again, let's try another game. Let's go into Subway Surfers. So we've got the Razer phone again edging it. Coming out on top, clearly there we can see Razer phone is performing quite exceptional at the moment. Okay, and we'll come back to it. Next up, let's go into 8-ball pool. Both phones loading up. Let's see who we've got, and again the Razer phone. Back to the home screen, and we're going into Asphalt 8. Let's see who comes out on top here. Ooh, just very similar stuff. I would think, looking at that, the S8 Plus just came out on top. Okay, continuing on, let's try a few different apps. Back to the home screen and going into Twitch. Razer phone. For Mixer, the entire homepage of all the videos has loaded up faster for the Razer phone. Nice. Netflix. And again, the Razer phone beating the Samsung on the apps. Speed test. Who can load up the server faster? The Razer phone can. Excellent. Let's go into Boomerang. Let's snap a quick photo. And faster response times for the Samsung. Home screen. Just Eat. A little bit faster for the Razer phone. Not much between them. Okay, moving into the Google folder. Google Play Movies. Wow, very fast for the Razer phone. That was pretty quick. For Play Games, let's conclude it on this app. And again, not much in it between them, but I have to say the Razer phone definitely came out on top. Okay, so in this test, it's time to test out the RAM management of both devices. So let's kick things off with the first app, which is the Play Store, which we can see is held on memory. Moving on, let's go to Chrome. And we see a refresh for the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, whereas Wikipedia has been held for the Razer phone. For YouTube, 2 refreshes. Not what I would expect to see for a phone with 8 gigs and 4 gigs of RAM respectively, but let's see who can come out on top and do better. For Netflix, we can see both the phones are doing well, keeping the app on memory. Going into the next app, let's go into the game launcher and try Mario Run. So the Razer phone is good to go, continuing on from where I left it, whereas the Samsung has refreshed. Next app, let's go into Angry Birds 2. Once again, the Razer phone is doing good because I can see where I left off, whereas the Samsung once again is refreshing. So back to the home screen. Let's move on. Back into the game launcher and let's go to Asphalt 8. Another refresh for the Samsung, unfortunately, whereas the Razer phone has kept the game on memory, so I'm good to go. And let's try the next app. So let's just open it up in a different way. Scrolling back up to Boomerang. That's good, the first photo that we took has been held. And let's go to the next app, which is Temple Run 2. Excellent, so we can see the Razer phone performing much better this time round for the RAM test. Reloading from where I left it. The S8 Plus, as you guys can see, has started again. So the Razer phone is performing better. In its first test against the Mate 10 Pro, it wasn't performing that well when it came to the game, so I'm glad to see it doing better. Next up, Snapchat. I'd say that's a refresh on both phones. Going back up, let's go into 8-ball pool. Nice, the Razer phone holding the memory of this app. And again, another refresh for the Samsung, so it's not doing great. Mixer. And again, for the Razer phone, held on memory exactly where we left it, whereas that's the opposite for the Samsung. Play Movies, held on memory for both phones. Okay, moving back into the Google folder, let's go into Google Play Games, and we see both the apps have been held on memory. Now I'll try the camera out, I'll just see if it comes out faster. No, it's pretty much the same, the Samsung is still faster. It's obviously going to refresh as it is the camera. let's try a similar app in terms of that, which is Instagram, which is going to load up the feed again, but the S8 Plus was faster this time round, and that's a very powerful message. I'll be sure to screenshot that. Nice. Okay, going back into another game, which is Subway Surfers, and that's fantastic. The Razer phone is ready to resume exactly from where I left it, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus has restarted once again. So not a great performance for RAM management at the moment. For the speed test, you can see the test is ready to resume, but the Samsung happened to reload the server. So let's clear the apps down and move on to the next test. For the fingerprint scanner, I know, and I'm sure you do too, Samsung haven't implemented the best strategy here for a sensor in terms of ease of access. The fingerprint sensor, as I've mentioned numerous times before, isn't ideal in terms of shape, position or size. It's a textbook example on how not to create a fingerprint sensor, but I'm extremely glad this appears to be addressed on the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the A8 range for 2018. Now, the Razer phone uses its power button as the fingerprint sensor, as it's side mounted much like Sony's XZ Premium, and initially I thought it wasn't an ideal place for it to be, but that's until you actually use it on a daily basis. Right, as per usual, this one's a bit tougher to get my hands adjusted because of the S8 Plus. Okay, let's do this on the count, and 3, 2, 1, go! Wow, the S8 Plus just edges it. I'm going to do it several more times so you guys clearly see the differences. And there we have it guys, we can see the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus is faster, but only by half a second or so. There genuinely isn't much difference between them at all. Interesting stuff from both phones. Right, after all those tests, it's time to switch them both off and see who can power off first. Okay, so on the count again, 3, 2, 1, go! And that's the Razer phone coming in strong to end the test, just beating the S8 Plus to powering off. Watch again as the blue LED indicator on the S8 Plus is still on even when the Razer phone has powered off. Nice. Now, let's take a look back. So, in summary guys, the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus begins proceedings in a faster boot up time than the Razer phone. So, the first point goes to Samsung. Next up, for the apps, the Razer phone performed faster than the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus on the majority of the apps which were launched. The overall response times and speed was significantly faster for the Razer phone. Therefore, it's a well-deserved point here. In terms of RAM management, the Razer phone utilized its memory much more effectively compared to the S8 Plus, but it wasn't perfect by any means. We can see certain games were ready to resume, which is excellent, and it's nothing less than what we would expect from a phone that has 8 gigs of RAM. That's right, for 8 gigs I expect it to hold all the apps like a lot of you guys wrote in the comments in its first speed test against the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. But clearly the Razer phone executed RAM management better this time round, as it struggled on the games last time round if you remember. On the other hand, the S8 Plus did not manage to hold most of its apps, so it's a clear winner who takes the point here. A point for the Razer phone. For the fingerprint sensor, I was split 50-50, but as I remember from your feedback, I'm going to keep things fair and square. As this is primarily a speed test, I'm giving the points directly based on which phone's response is faster. So looking back, even with it only being a half a second or so difference, the S8 Plus comes out on top here. I guess it's all about fine margins and narrow victories to beat your competitor. So let's hear it for the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. And finally, the Razer phone takes the final point as it does power off faster than the Samsung. So conclusively guys, based on strictly how they performed against each other in this test, your final result and verdict, your speed test winner, the Razer Phone Special Edition. So, to conclude guys, on paper I expected no less from the Razer phone, but I do expect more from its RAM management. As the end user having access to 8 gigs of RAM, I want to see it be used more effectively and efficiently. And I'm still not fully convinced since a couple of the apps did tend to refresh, but software updates can certainly address these areas of concern in the nearby future. But as a daily driver, the Razer phone is a fabulous experience and offers users something entirely different, which is what I found to really enjoy. It's a superb device in many respects. For the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, overall it's an exceptional smartphone in so many ways, and what it may lack in lightning fast speeds, it truly makes up for in its other high-end features and functionality, meaning either of these two smartphones would provide an exceptional experience as your daily driver. On another note however, recently I feel as though OnePlus, Huawei and Google may have stolen the spotlight from Samsung in some aspects, and it would be fantastic to see the resurgence of Samsung with its brand new Galaxy S9 around the corner. I can't wait to see how the Galaxy Galaxy S9 outperforms the S8 and Note 8. It's clearly going to be an insane year for all manufacturers and especially for us tech enthusiasts. I genuinely can't wait to see what this year promises to offer. The competition is hot, no doubt. So guys, let me know what smartphone you currently own and what you're planning on switching to in 2018. Drop me a comment below and of course share your thoughts on this speed test. And be sure to leave your suggestions, as I always appreciate your comments and feedback, as this continues to help me create the best level of content for you guys. And speaking of content, I've created a brand new format and style for my upcoming comparison tests, which is gonna be in 4K. So stay tuned, you seriously do not want to miss it. There's tons more content coming up. Smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and as always guys, hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one. Peace.